What's up, guys? LAJ.
This is Young Peter here.
With Legendary Sports Organizations and the Dirty Mint, and we're gonna talk about the hottest team in baseball,
The Dodgers.
and they're becoming one of the most historic teams in franchise history. Not only that, but possibly could end up being one of the best teams in history, possibly, depending if they win it all at the end of the year. We're gonna talk about how did they, because as of August 9th, we're talking about 9 days into August, they've already won their 80th game, and that's like absurd. It's crazy.
You're talking about the sixth team to do that in all of MLB history.
Yeah,
So.
to get 80th in the
First
sixth,
113 games.
Yeah, exactly. Great observation. And the last Dodger team to actually do 80 wins in August was the 1977 Dodgers, which had Davey Loeb, Steve Yeager, Steve Garvey, Don Sutton, a lot of retired
Dodger
numbers.
legends,
Yeah, Dodger legends, of course, Hall of Famers. But they didn't get their 80th win until August 31st. So literally the last day of August, they had their 80th win. So this is the fastest Dodger team to 80 wins. I mean, we're talking a lot about the 80 wins, but it's like historic. Like, how did they get here? And we're going to elaborate a little bit about that. 2013, the Dodgers went on a crazy, stupid, historic run. On a 50-game stretch, they won 42 out of the 50. And, who would have thought that 4 years later, they go on this even more historic run and break that record with 43-7, capping off the third best 50-game stretch run in MLB history since 1916. And that's, we're talking about 100 years ago, and the Dodgers just broke that record. But what are other things that the Dodgers have done to get into this 80-win season, 80 wins in August?
Yeah, so we're really focusing on the 80 win number right now because obviously we want to know, how do we get to that point? How do we get to it being August 9th and the Dodgers already being at 80 wins?
They didn't win their 80th, to add a little bit, they didn't win their 80th last year until September 10th or 11th. So month.
It's a really big deal since we're still near the first week of this month.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, of those 80 wins, you're talking about our Dodger pitchers not allowing opposing offenses no more than 2 runs. And that's a big deal.
That's
since
crazy.
we're keeping teams at bay.
Pitching is
And our pitching, outfielding, our closing, everything is on point to just have them only at 2. And you're talking about, of those 80, 24 of them were complete shutouts.
Damn.
And you know how impressive it is just to have a team completely shut down.
Yeah.
And these are some prolific offenses that are out there, and our pitching is on point. Our outfield is on point, and just, I don't know how many times I can say on point without it sounding kind of redundant, but everything's just on point. And of those 80 games, of those 80 wins, 68 of those came already after the 8th inning. Like, no team ever came back on us after that. 68-0 when we're leading after 8 innings. That's mind-blowing stuff.
No walk-off, no come from behind.
No one's come back.
Damn.
Like, after we take you in a lead to the 8th inning, you're not going to come back.
Damn, that's crazy. That's super crazy.
Thinking about how we got to those 80 wins, it's crazy to think that at some point the Dodgers were at 9-11. And
Damn,
it's like surreal to really think about that.
It's crazy, yeah. I don't. It doesn't even I don't feel like it ever happened.
But it was a time that really did happen. And then you're talking about, well, how did we really get here? So April 25th comes around, and now we have young Cody Bellinger who gets called up because of an injury to Andrew Toles, and things completely changed. Now we have obviously a logjam in the outfield. But now we have this kid who's outperforming, everyone's expectations.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you can't deny this kid and send them right back down to Oklahoma. Now, I hate to call it a twist of fate, but we have Adrian go down.
Blessing in disguise, kind of.
I guess you call it blessing in disguise. I mean, I love Adrian.
Everybody does. He's a great
He's
person.
one of the best Mexican hitters that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
great veteran,
awesome.
great
And just
leader. All around
just a
great
terrific
person.
guy. But
yeah.
obviously he goes down with a back injury, and now we're thinking like, oh crap. But now Cody has a permanent spot at first. This dude is just tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about 33 home runs as of August 10th right now.
He's
about 11 away from the MLB rookie record. 11 away, which is still attainable, and only 3 away from tying the Dodgers record. I mean, this
3, he's gonna take it because Piazza has 35, so he's gonna take it.
So he's just right there. It's already a given, barring some knock on wood injury. So
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
But
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a month and a half left. and he only needs 3 home runs to beat the record for the Dodgers. He needs 5 home runs to tie, 6 to break the NL record, and 11 to break the entire major league record for most home runs by a rookie. I mean, that's like incredible.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
you're talking about a 71-23 stretch with Cody already being called up. So that 9-11 just becomes a distant memory now,
Oh,
knowing
wow.
that this guy comes in and it just provides instant offense and just providing a reliable bat. Something that I know past Dodger teams had, but not necessarily with the power this kid provides. And I mean, there's a lot of contributors on this team, but then there's another one we want to highlight, and Jesus.
I think he might be my favorite because he tends to. I mean, he's very clutch. He's driven up. He has 3 Grand Slams this year, 1 last year, which ties him with MLB for the most Grand Slams. And Andrew Toles was a great guy. He's cool. He's athletic. He has a great humble beginning. And fortunate enough, we were given a great player through trade. And when it happened, I was like, why did you do that? Why did you trade Zach Lee for this guy? That's Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor has been tearing it up. He had an opportunity and he ran with it, and he's running with it nonstop. He's not looking back, and incredible. He's one of the, I don't know, besides Cody Bellinger, he's probably the other person there, for the reason why the Dodgers are at 80 wins in August. And to just touch up on that, in July, he led the league with, average. He hit 3 home runs. I think his average for January was 394. His OPS was 1.072, which also led the league. I mean, July was just his month, and now in August, he's not looking back. He's planning on breaking July's record and become even better. So it's gonna be hard to when it comes down to when everybody's healthy, who do you put up there? And I don't think
I think
Taylor,
Dave has a very, very hard time trying to think about his playoff roster right now, because you want to have the veterans obviously there with Chase and Puig or whatnot, because they have playoff experience, but you want to see these young guys and see what they can do with that high pressure of the postseason.
Yeah, get that experience and finally
because we remember Corey just last year getting his first taste of the postseason.
There, and exposure is gonna bring out the best in them. And I'm really liking that. Dave Roberts is not thinking about, tomorrow. He's not thinking about the next day. He's thinking about how to win today, and we'll worry about tomorrow. And then tomorrow
just
comes
taking
and
it
he's already
under
prepared.
one game at a time approach.
But he's already prepared. But I guarantee you, in his mind, he's already set on we're champions. How are we gonna celebrate? What are we gonna have in the locker room to pop bottles? Or he's already set on the championship. So to say that 80 wins already in August, in Dave's mind, he's like, we already won a championship. We already got the ring. We're already champions. So just bring this on. Let's just, roll with it.
Just go through the formality. And
definitely. Give another team an opportunity to lose. So, it's good. But speaking of losing, one of my favorite teams to talk about that are losers is the San Francisco Giants. And they're about to get eliminated. They're 13 games out. I mean, how good would it be for them to get eliminated in August?
Just going salt in the wound at this point is like,
die.
That's. So 80 wins. So how did this team get there as a whole? Now, offensively, we're 13th, middle of the pack with 258 average, but every other offensive category, we're top 5. You're talking about 3rd in OPS, 4th in home runs, 5th in runs, 5th in RBIs, and probably one of the most important ones is 1st in walks with 460 walks in the season. Now, why is that so important? It's getting people on base. You're talking about batters who are patient and not swinging at air or not swinging at bad pitches. These guys are very disciplined. That's
good.
Just it's awesome to know that these guys are not swinging at horrible pitches, because I've seen that so many times.
Well, Bob Guerin has been the person to lead the batting. And, he gets a kiss from Puig every time he hits a home run. But, yeah, Bob Guerin
well deserved.
Oh, yeah. But Bob Guerin has been, the man that switched this team into that patient, that team that's more important to get on base rather than hit the home run.
Yeah, because we had McGuire for those years, and I don't know what exactly he was teaching them, but
steroids, hopefully not.
Yeah, so let's not hope it gets to that. But he wasn't exactly showing them the right approach at an at bat.
Yeah,
I mean,
agreed. Yeah, they had a great. I mean, from 2013 when he arrived to when he was released a couple years ago, they had a younger Adrian Gonzalez. They had Carl Crawford, who wasn't healthy, but at the same time he was decent. But they had pieces, and McGuire couldn't do something with it. And I mean, they got fortunate. They made it they won the West a couple of times, but they didn't take it all the way. But now with Bob Guerin, you could feel like the change is there, the patience is there. Except for Jock Peterson, get your shit together.
but enough about our offense. What about on the defensive end?
Oh no, not only that. Offense is important, definitely, but if you score and you can't hold the opposing team to no runs or anything like that, I mean, what's the point? You're just going to get clobbered at the end. But fortunate for the Dodgers, they have the best pitching staff in all of baseball. We're talking about...
Say that again? I didn't hear you the first time.
The best.
The best.
The best. There's no arguing about it. There's no debate. There's no going around it. You can't look at the stats. You can't ask your friend from Texas, hey, well, no. There's no argument about this. The Dodgers have the best rotation, the best pen, the best closer in all of baseball. And we're talking about a Dodgers rotation without Clayton Kershaw, without Brandon McCarthy. We got Alex Wood. We got Yu Darvish, who just arrived, and he's already contributing, who's also going to play today, which is pretty exciting. But we're talking about the best rotation, the best pitching, like anything in baseball. And right now, they lead the league in ERA with a 3.68. They lead in WHIP with a 1.11. They've allowed the fewest hits. They've allowed the fewest runs. They've allowed the fewest earned runs, home runs, and the fewest walks. The only category they're not leading in is in strikeouts. But then again, Kershaw's not in the lineup, and he accounts for most of the strikeouts.
But to be top 5 is still pretty impressive in the entire league.
I mean, it averages out to number 1. That fourth, like whatever. Like you guys don't strike out as many batters, but at the same time, you're
not
dominating.
scoring on us either.
Yeah, bingo. There you go, bingo. So yeah, definitely the Dodgers. We'll be back because we know in a couple of weeks we'll be back with announcement of the Giants getting eliminated. Hopefully next week. We're gonna be back when the Dodgers hit 100 wins. We're gonna be back. I mean, we're gonna do a lot more because the Dodgers are just on a tear. But yeah, definitely.
This is a season that a lot of fans have been waiting for because we know that this is the one time where we can be like, look, this is our year.
29
and I know we say this all the time, but this is our year because you don't know how disappointing it'll be if this just ends up to be nothing.
Yeah, it'll be.
But it'll be something once we finally hold that trophy.
Definitely. So I'm LAJ.
And this is Young Peter.
Legendary Sports Organizations and the Mint. Make sure you check out the websites and the social media. We'll throw on the links in the bottom. So make sure you check them out, and we'll be back next time.
Peace.